Jeff, in his work, has looked at two alternatives. The first of which is an environmental water reserve that could be vested in a single government agency. And Jeff has identified a number of limitations that would attend such an arrangement. The second alternative that Jeff has suggested is establishment of a set of rules that take advantage of the forces that guide market coordination in a similar way to that which already exists in terms of bush tender. For example, private water managers could bid for an environmental water entitlement and then be rewarded by the government for the delivery of benchmarks environmental outcomes. This could include periodic auctions and also allow for the intervention by water trusts. And water trusts could be encouraged by a range of tax incentives. However, Bennett recognises that there needs to be an expanded research effort in terms of, particularly in terms of establishing environmental targets and benchmarks. In a related theme, Mike Young has put forward that the environmental water reserve should be specified as entitlements that would then be devolved and held by local environmental trusts or similar, with the central water holder only being involved in those sort of decisions that could not sensibly be managed by local entities. In Young's proposal, local trusts would know how much water they had at their disposal each year and could set about making decisions on the deployment of that water to the best effect. This could include buying and selling. However, what's not clear is how these new trusts might meld with existing institutional arrangements where local environmental managers already exist. And there are potential problems, of course, if trusts are selling allocations while the BASIN plan and buyback have sought to reduce extractions. In short, both Bennett and Young favour devolution of control to achieve some sort of efficiency gain. In some cases, the costs of undertaking a task or making a decision will be manifestly higher or lower for superordinate or subordinate authorities. Young divides water management decisions into two domains: strategic decisions, which relate to policy choices, and tactics or day-to-day choices. Young would see that perhaps the strategic decisions might be better made at a superordinate level, with day-to-day choices made devolved down more to a local level. So in conclusion, I'm sure it comes as no surprise to anyone here to realise that there are many empirical questions that remain. But we do need to heed lessons from the past devolution of extractive rights during earlier phases of reform. You will be aware that this devolution of rights only took weak account of third-party effects and resulted in the activation of sleeper and dozer rights that actually weakened the entitlement security, particularly for the environment. In addition, the specification of extractive rights almost exclusively in gross entitlements has also proved problematic. There are complexities that may be handled better at the local or state level, but determining exactly which complexities are best dealt with at what level is still quite problematic. Simply devolving rights is not necessarily sufficient to generate local efficiency gains in water use. It requires the unbundling and appropriate attenuation applied to limit spillover effects. In addition, the potentially thousands of sites of ecological significance and substantial uncertainty around the extent of hydrological and ecological connectedness remains an area that requires much further research on the scientific front. It's also been noted that care needs to be taken not to further stretch the limited water management capacity across even more entities. And we would also caution about the danger of a one-size-fits-all approach, given the incredible diversity that exists within the basin, both hydrologically, ecologically and economically. Thank you.